This is Swiss and Chips, your British guide to Switzerland.
Hello and welcome to Swiss and Chips. My name is Simon.
And I'm Jo.
And today we're gonna talk about going to France.
On foot.
On foot. We dive straight into the topic today because there is a lot on the menu. First, we talk about the listener feedback, the poll, then the hidden gem, walking to France, and then we've got another poll for you coming.
All coming up today in the show.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So let's start with the listener poll that we did last time, which was about, do you love or hate skiing?
And we strictly kept it to love or hate, didn't we, on purpose?
Yes, and 86% of the people listening to our show and voted said they
love it.
They love it, yes.
Crazy. I thought people were going to say hate it.
It's probably because most of my family members did vote, and also I did. Yeah, unfortunately, in the Substack...
You did as well. Is that allowed?
Yeah, it is. I love it. I want to take part.
Okay.
And
I think that might be cheating.
In the Substack on our website, I saw that you have to give us the email address to vote. I would love to not do that, but it's not possible on Substack. That's a bit unfortunate, because otherwise I could have voted several times.
Yes, I think that we would call that voter fraud.
We also got feedback by email from Kathy.
Yes. Hello, Kathy. We love your emails.
Yes, and she said, I know you said we can't be neutral for the love or hate skiing question, but seriously, it's not an easy yes or no kind of thing.
You know what? I really like this email from Kathy because that is exactly how I feel about skiing. Yeah, and I wonder if that came across in the last episode. Yeah,
there's lots of pros and some cons, and it's just a love-hate relationship. She said, love the views and so on, but cons,
Skiing
queuing,
is a con.
Prices. But an interesting thing she said, we're not going to read the whole email. It was a very long, very detailed email. But she also said that as a compromise, she and her partner, they go snowshoeing.
It's interesting. Have you ever been snowshoeing?
No. Why would I? I ski.
Yeah, but you might have. The thing is, I went snowshoeing once.
True. I went once as well, now that I think of it. With school, yeah.
Okay. So I went once and I thought that's going to be a great alternative to skiing because it's basically just walking around in the snow. But it's not that simple as with anything.
Yeah, it's quite fun. Huh? It's more fun.
No, it wasn't fun.
What?
That's what I wanted to say. I really didn't like it. You have to wear these super weird shoes and you walk in like really deep snow.
Well, you don't have to.
And it feels kind of funny and slippery. It's a really like unexpected experience. You think it's going to be just walking in the snow, but it's not.
Well, it is though.
No, it's not. You have to wear super weird shoes.
Yeah, but they're made specially so it's not slippery and you don't have to walk in deep snow. You can.
But if you go on a snowshoe hike, you normally do.
Often, yeah. But there are people walking on the side of a piste, for example, up the hill.
It's just a very unusual feeling.
Okay, let's move on with her email then.
Yes, do.
She said, thank you to both of you for your amazing podcast, which always makes me laugh. You're very welcome. Summer hiking would be a great topic. I thought, yes, let's write that down. That would be a good topic. So we definitely keep that in mind. And
yes. Shall I summarize what she says? Because I have also had this experience, Kathy.
Yes.
You're out on a hike, you're thinking, God, I'm amazing. Look at me sweating up this giant hill in the middle of summer. And then all of a sudden, tiny Swiss children run past you, literally like mountain goats. Thank you, Kathy, because that's what it's like. And then you're like, I'm rubbish.
And she wrote, I'm blaming my footwear and not my fitness. That made me laugh.
Nice one.
We also got another email from Jonathan, a very nice email, which said, Guten Morgen, Joe and Simon. Good morning, Joe and Simon.
Good morning.
I'd like to thank you for your efforts on the podcast. It has been informative and entertaining. I am actually visiting Switzerland this week, staying in Bern today. So I was compelled to write and let you know that your work is appreciated.
Aww.
It's super nice. Yeah, thank you so much for the email.
And I think he did some of the things that we've mentioned in previous podcasts. So that's really cool. I'm glad it was helpful.
Yes, I asked him how it was, what surprised him, what he didn't like. And he wrote a very nice and detailed email back, and we share his thoughts next time.
Cool.
So thank you very much. And if anyone else wants to send us their feedback or comments or ideas, just let us know.
Especially if you hate snowshoeing.
No. You can write at hello@swissandchips.com or go to our website, which is called swissandchips.com, and there you'll find all the details you need.
That's the one.
Right. Now to the topic of the day.
Okay.
We planned to go and visit a special place in Switzerland, then go to France and come back.
Yes.
So,
should I explain why?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I've been in Switzerland for about 15 years now, as you and regular listeners will also know.
Yes, you mention it in every episode.
Good. But here's the thing. There's a village named after me here.
Joe.
No, Fahy. It's funny. It's not named after me, but there's a village that has the same name as my surname, Fahy.
Yes.
I don't know exactly how they pronounce it there. We assume something like, what do we assume?
Fahy.
Fahy, maybe. I don't know. It's in the French-speaking part of the country. And, it's always been, how can I say, somewhat of a dream to go to this place. But the problem is, it's in the far northwest corner of the country.
Yeah, a long 1 hour and 20 minutes away.
But it's surrounded by not much else of visiting note in particular. I haven't had a reason to go there yet.
How did you call France just now?
Okay, France, yes, but not like, we got to go there for blah, blah, blah.
It's true, yeah. It was not really on the way of something so far.
So far. However, a few weekends ago, we decided, let's go to that village and see what it's like. And because it's so close to France, we can pop over the border and do, whatever it is that you do when you pop over the border to France.
Yes, so we decided to head off on a Saturday morning.
Yes.
We drove just a normal road towards the famous village of Fahy.
Yeah. The funny thing is, we took a little bit the scenic route, which is always a cool idea. I think in Switzerland, you come across some funny stuff. Yeah. And what do you know? We came across a hidden gem. It was so cool. We were just driving, and then I said, hey, what's that giant hay sculpture of a horse out of the window?
And it was a giant hay sculpture of a horse, and then 3 people blowing the not the Matterhorn, the Alphorn.
Made out of hay, straw, giant straw sculptures. They were actually really cool. And we were like, right, let's pull in and stop. We were basically in the middle of nowhere. There was no one around. When we got out of the car, it was this kind of very, very quiet silence that you get in the middle of nowhere in Switzerland. Mm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talked about it at the time. You can hear maybe like a bird tweeting, but it's just very quiet.
Yeah, no one there as far as you can see.
You can stand in the middle of the road if you want to.
Yeah, we will put a few photos on our website so you can see how it looked.
Yeah. But the point is,
it was a museum.
There was something very interesting there, especially for lovers of cheese, which I assume most listeners of the podcast are.
The Tête de Moine Museum.
Yes, and this is where it was founded. They've got a museum, they've got a shop, you can eat cheese there.
Maybe you should explain what the Tête de Moine is.
Right, good point.
Or does this exist also in the UK?
I've never heard of it before, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But it's not, I don't think it's as well known as, like the Emmental cheese. I mean, it's not. Anyhow, Tête de Moine cheese is like a special round cheese. And you can either buy it in a round lump or you can buy it pre-shaved. And I call it the curly cheese. This is what we talked about.
Yep.
It's the curly cheese because there's a special kind of cheese grater. You put the cheese on top of a spike and then you put like a sort of shaving lever on top of it and you turn it around like a cogwheel and it shaves off curly bits of cheese.
I'm not sure people can see what you make with your hands.
To act it out.
Yeah, we will put the video on our website. I think it's easier to see than to,
To hear.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Anyway, you can buy it already shaven.
Yeah.
Or you can buy the cheese to make yourself at home. It's quite fun at, a cheese apéro.
It's a good cheese.
Indeed.
Tête de Moine also means monk's head, by the way.
Uh-huh.
It was developed 800 years ago by the monks of Bellelay.
Yes, that's the place nearby, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's established in Jura, in a region of Switzerland. And its earliest records are from 1192. Yeah. So ages ago.
That's old.
All of this I know by heart. No, I read it just from Wikipedia.
Also, we found out things about the cheese while we were there. There's a little museum there. We didn't visit it because we were on our way to the Fahy village in France, but you could.
A tiny museum and with an iPad guided tour.
Wow.
And you can visit the historical cheese factory and how they produce on a wood fire cheese production thing. I think it's not always, but sometimes. You can go to their website if you want to find out more. I'll also put the link in the show notes.
And you can have a little look in their authentic cheese cellar. We did do that.
Yes.
It is cool to see the big, like, round circles of cheese.
Absolutely. Then we moved on.
Yes. So after that exciting break, unexpected stop at the cheese factory, we drove on to Fahy village.
Yeah, which was nothing to see. Yeah. I hope no one is listening.
That's what
Fahy
I thought
village.
as well. I don't know if we have any.
I mean,
they might have mentioned it by now, to be fair.
Also, it might be nice, but we just drove by. We didn't really, go out much or something.
We stopped and had a little look around, but I mean, it's only got like 2 roads, 2 petrol stations.
A few hundred people living there.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's, it's just a place where people live.
Yeah. But it has got a border to France, which we stopped at. Yes. And what did you do?
This was pretty cool. We stopped, and because there was still not really anyone around, I was like, well, I'm going to take this opportunity to walk over the border into France because, that's cool.
Because you can.
Because you can. And normally you can't.
Yeah, there was no one at the border, so you could just walk across, cycle across.
It had my name.
It had your name, yes.
The Fahy border crossing.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
Cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. How was it to walk across the border?
Liberating, fantastic, European vibe. Really like, this is the life, No one can hold me back from crossing this border on foot. That's how I felt.
Is it still weird to cross a border by foot?
Yes.
And no one being there?
So weird.
You're just in France, then in Switzerland.
It's so weird. It is weird. I still can't really get over it. And there have been a couple of other times that I've done this. One, the Vatican. I guess a lot of people have done that.
Yeah.
And to have one foot in each country at the same time, that's fun. So the other time that I've walked across the border is between Konstanz and Kreuzlingen. And that's on the far other side of Switzerland.
Yes.
And that's super cool because it's kind of like one big town, but 2 different names. And you're crossing over the border all the time there just to go like from your house to go shopping or whatever it is without even noticing.
Why do people go shopping to other countries from Switzerland?
Oh, where do I begin? Cheaper, more variety, unusual products that you don't get in Switzerland, novelty factor.
Yeah, true.
Those things.
Yeah, it's true. You know what else was cool to have a foot there and there? That just reminded me, and was it in, what's it called in London?
Greenwich.
Yes.
That's not 2 different countries, but it's feet in different time zones in case someone doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's super cool. See, these things are awesome.
Yeah, weirdly.
Not weirdly. I mean, it's like unspectacular, but also spectacular.
Yeah, you
know
think
what I mean?
It should be different, but it's not. But it's still cool.
Yeah, it is.
So yes, that's definitely one thing that is fun about Switzerland. You can just pop into another country in one day and just come back.
Mm-hmm. But always take your ID because sometimes there is someone there and sometimes they stop you and want to look at your ID.
Yeah,
when you're least expecting it. Probably not in Fahy, but I don't know.
Right. Is there anything else you want to say about your personal village or the trip to France?
About the personal village, there's some plots of land available for sale there. They're pretty cheap, so check it out if you're looking for solitude, quiet, and an own home.
Right. Otherwise, we move on to... Learning Swiss German with Swiss and Chips. And the word today, it comes from Kathy's email.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes. And it's called Vögeliwohl.
Mm-hmm. So I think that means feeling really jolly, happy and content.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Vögeliwohl.
Yep. Like a birdie, cozy, snuggly.
No.
Happy.
Happy as a bird.
Happy as a bird.
We can't say that in English. I just invented that phrase. Sorry.
Oh, that would be exactly the meaning. Shame. We should use it though.
Happy as a bird.
Right. Happy as a bird. Happily as a bird. We have to also say that we don't have a Swiss bite for you today, so you're not allowed to make the noise. Can you survive, or do you want to quickly make it anyway? Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Then it's time for our last topic, which is the listener survey. Do you have any idea what we could ask our listeners and talk about?
Yes, I do. I would like to know if anybody else has crossed any borders, particularly if you've crossed any interesting borders or been able to stand with one foot in either country. Have you ever crossed a border?
On foot, right?
On foot, yes.
All right. So have you ever crossed a border on foot? Yes or no?
Yeah. You can email us with the details if they're interesting, if you're also a fan of this experience.
Yes. I'm just thinking.
Also, if they're not interesting, you can still email us.
Yeah, and write something nice.
I'd like to hear about it because I don't know other people who have done this or like to do this. But I do.
Cool. So that was it for today.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.